Welcome back. Let's now talk about how you're making your quotes and your invoicing to your clients. How do you present them, how you design it, and what you include in those. So, step 1. What software are you making use of to build your quotes and why? And what software are you making use to build your invoices and why? Do you actually have a software, or you use just an Excel sheet, or you join them down on a paper or a notebook? How do you keep track of all the quotes and all your invoices, and why? Is this something it's easier for you, or maybe it comes handy or you delegate it to someone? You can join down the notes in here. Now, step 2. What terms and conditions have you included in the quotes invoices previously issued to your clients? How did you design them until now? What did you include in your quote? For example, you might include the name of your business with your address, your logo, the name of the client, address, their registration number, the description of your product, prices, VAT or taxes. And what have you included as a terms, conditions, or so on into the invoice or a quote? Now, in general, the most common terms to be added in the regards to, like in the terms and condition at the bottom, is the payment terms. Okay, so how do you want to get paid? Do you want to get a 50% down deposit, or payment on delivery or on collection, or you give them a credit after? Now, refund, in case you have any, how are you going to deal in case of the refunds? Deliveries, okay, if you do the delivery yourself, or you give them a specific term since they buy till you actually deliver, and the bank details or any way they can pay you. Okay, now, are you missing any from the above? Which ones? So between all of those, which one you usually include in your quote and invoices, and which one not? Step 3. Actually, what are the pros and cons of each software? In case you're using a software, okay, so we want to see what are the benefits and what are the disadvantages of using that specific software, and in exchange on any one others that you might use. If you do not have any idea of what software you could use for invoices and quotes, I personally use Invoice to go. It's invoice to number to go. That's very easy for me, because once I create the quote, I can, by clicking twice, I can transform the same thing into an invoice. It's just changing the number and the type of format it is. So I design it once, I have all the information related for my clients, terms and condition, and then every time I inputting, I have the client saved, the database of the clients, my product saved, so it's gonna be easy, just pick and match. So I want you to maybe make a comparison between your software or your way of keeping track of your invoice and quotes, and maybe Invoice to go if you do not have a second one. Okay. Each invoice and quotation should have a unique and progressive number to be easily accessed and associated with each client and the respective financial transaction. Now, how are you planning your quotes archive? Okay, how many follow-ups are you doing in order to close in a quote? What I mean by this is that once you issue a quote to a client, how long you wait until you do the first follow-up, if you do the second, the third, and if you're actually planning those. Do you make a reminder for yourself, or you have a system in place for that? How are you archiving your invoices? So now, obviously, your invoices can be archived by client, by date, paid, not paid. Okay, so how do you do that? And how are you planning your taxes? Are you saving monthly for your own taxes? Like, for example, when you collect from the clients the VAT, or for any taxes you have for yourself or for the business. Are you saving for those monthly, or when the deadline comes, then you try to find where to collect the money to pay taxes for the business? Step 4. Collecting the payment. Now, once a quotation is approved and turned into an invoice, the client should execute the payment based on the agreed conditions. What are your steps when it comes to collecting the payment? You usually ask them payment on delivery, on collection, or you ask them a deposit and then the balance on delivery. So how do you proceed and how do you collect your payments? Now, in case you give any credit note, for example, you give them a week after they collect or after you deliver your product or service for the payment. Did you ever have any issue in terms of collecting that payment? If yes, if you tick yes, can you explain the most common issue and what you did in order to resolve it? So if, for example, you gave a credit note of 7 days or 30 days to your client, and once we reached the deadline, the client did not pay you, how did you proceed to collect the payment? Now, little page where you can join down any quotes, any questions, any notes, any future reminders for yourself. And we're closing up with the quote, which for today is, do more than you are being paid to do, and you will eventually be paid more than what you do. Thank you very much, and I see you in the next presentation.